Okay, welcome to another shop talk. Going to talk today about kind of version 3 of my router sled. I'm hoping this is it really. You know, I use the Take 1 2 system for the actual carriage now, which is absolutely insane. But the base, which I need to possibly move around to my workshop for some jobs, and now I'll show you in a moment the setup I'm doing in the barn, thicknessing and working on slabs before I bring them in, which really helps reduce the weight, keeps the sawdust down, then you're only bringing in the usable material. You can see here we're lambing. So if you hear, probably got about 10 more days and hopefully the lambs will be born. If you're hearing, sounds like old McDonald's farm in the background while I'm talking, it's these ladies here making a noise and interrupting me. But anyway, let's show you what I'm doing. It's not really great at the moment. I know it's the same for everybody. Today, I'm actually shooting this video on Saturday because I'm gonna have Sunday off for a change. I should be the busiest day at the NEC today for my furniture, which it looks like they don't want to give the money back, basically, and nor do the hotel. The other show is the Excel in London, which, as we all know, if you're in England, has turned into the new hospital, which is fantastic, so it helps with all this massive coronavirus problem. Believe it or not, they've turned the Excel into a hospital. I'm booked to go in the Excel for the next show, and even though they've let it out to the government, they're still saying they don't want to give the money back. And the hotel opposite the Excel, they don't want to give the money back either. So it's a bit of a shit, but the way I'm getting around this is I'm keeping really busy. I bought lots of stuff. I've got oak that I bought to do my own gates. I've got oak stock for other things. I bought all the roofing for the green oak building when I was busy earlier in the year. All of this is on site. I can carry on working. MWD is still open because I've got nearly all the supplies in the stock. So I don't need to leave the premises to keep building. I do a lot of work, as you probably know, through social media, videos, taking pictures of slabs, talking to clients. So in terms of taking orders, you know, I can still work. In terms of some of the orders dropping off, that's definitely happened. Some of the bigger ones as well, which is a shit. And obviously, as I say, I should be at the show generating work, but I'm not. So I'm keeping busy. I'm probably going to feed you a few more videos over the next few days, as long as things stay the same. This one, as I said, is about the router. So let's dig in. If you hear these ladies, I apologize. And there's probably a lot of wind you're going to hear because I'm going to build some stuff outside. Let's crack on. Okay, so this bottom rack here, which is a whopping 4.5 meters across, 1100 deep, is going to be the new home for the router sled. So it's going to sit in there, and the idea is I'll be able to get some slabs down on my own if there's no one around to help, put the slabs down onto there, thickness them, flip them over, and then they'll come into the workshop for resin or whatever. And then I'm not sure whether I'm going to bring that, depending on the weather, time of year. I'm not sure whether I'm going to bring the whole router sled in to the shop, maybe build another one at some point in the shop if I've got room, or actually just drive the slab around when the resin's finished, thickness it again, at least that keeps the dust out here, then bring it inside for the final polishing and prep for building the furniture. So something like 1200 from there to there, so it brings the front of the router sled out like this. Now what I didn't want to do was incur too much here when the forklift truck's coming out, giving me problems. So as you know, I've already got one of these sleds made up of the profiles, and that's one of it. Now the problem is that is 3 meters. The sled I built was 3 meters by I think 1.4, which gave me a nice comfortable with dust extraction 1.1, something like that, of flattening, leveling left to right. The new project that's on the go at the moment and the next two, both of them are around 1.3 finished. So my router sled can't handle the width quite, which is a pain after building it, and lengthwise one of them is 3.5, so it can't handle the length. The other two are 2.8, so it will handle the length. So I was coming up with ideas. I don't want to take up loads of space. Most of the time I'm flattening slabs that are around about 900 or under before the resin pour, and still a maximum of about a meter. I tend to make my tables about 900, 950 max. So most of the time on a nice compact router sled, and I don't have the space to have a great big 2 meter thing that's sitting there. So I'll take you in the shop and show you what I've come up with a system for having an expandable and shrinkable router sled. So it's kind of like my one sled now should cover all eventualities. I've put a link in the description. If you want to buy the plans, it's not plans really, it's a cut list and a list of everything you need to do and a few measurements to what I've done to make mine work. That's available on Etsy. All the money goes towards helping my channel anyway. So let's show you that in the workshop. Okay, this is what I've come up with. The whole router sled can grow and shrink. This is 1.5, which is a good size for an average piece. And this goes out to a massive 2 meters, which is more than I'll need to do. I mean, I've left about 800 here for safety, but if you wanted to extend it even more, you could just remove one of the bolts and you could go right down to like this and it would be 2.5 meters, whatever. This is 1.5, so end to end is going to make 3 meters. You'd need some kind of overlap. I've gone for 2 meters as a max on mine, and it just pulls apart. So in here, we've got a thread, one of these bolts in here, tapped in, goes into one of these T-nuts, like this, on both sides, and they slide in and out. And you have them all the way along the router sled. Works brilliantly. And you've got your connector here, and your 4080 rail goes on the edge. I'm going to do this in my trailer. It's quite big, so it is quite big to build, so I'm actually going to build this in my trailer outside because it's a nice flat bed just to get it together, and then we can lift it into the shop or take it into the barn. Okay, so one side you need to break the tab off because we're going against the 4080 profile. So just screwdriver under there, snap that off. Screwdriver under there, snap that off. Most of them break off clean. Sometimes you have to just give them a little sand or linish, but that just snaps off, as you can see. Oh, we need these for this other side. We need them for here.
What's the length? How are you going to divide it?
Well,
you're just going to guess. Is it really
no, I was going to try and divide it, but it's 4.5, just under.
You work out the middle one, then the two end ones, then it's just half. I've had to move mine. You can put it through, pull the thing back.
Okay, so now back to the Take 1 2 system. This is the underside of the carriage, so this will run on your rails. So you literally put that onto the profile. Okay, can I just have that Allen key a moment? Yeah. Right, we'll swap it round, Will, because you're not going to get in there. Let's turn this round and just loosen this. Okay. Okay, so obviously this is adjustable, and at the moment, certainly for this version, this I am not doing adjustable. Now I happen to have lots of this stuff around because I do all kinds of projects with it. I'm going to have one that is from 150. It'll probably go a little bit wider. This is 170 profile. I think this will probably go up to about 160, 170. So this will be my standard one. And then I'll just insert other rails, like a 2 meter rail. If I'm doing the odd job, I have a piece of 2 meter as a straight edge. I can just put two 2 meters on there quickly, and that can be if I'm doing the one-off great big wide stuff. I actually wanted to keep this solid because I know what the deflection is on these, and it's like 0.1 even over 2 meters. So perfect for, say, I'm using the Festool router, which is I think 7.8 kilos, say 8 kilos, plus the weight of the sled. So everything's under about 15 kilograms. We're only bridging 1.7 meters, so really, really good on deflection. Anyway, I'll go ahead and fix that on. We use the Bosch rangefinder. You see me using it all the time. Use one of those. GLM 50C. Just went down there and pinged it all. It's absolutely spot on, so we know that the gap in the rail is perfect. I'm going to have one side really tight to give me really close up to the edge to give me zero clearance on the back, or as little as possible, and all my extra rail will be on this side. So we get that square. I am going to upload a video of me building this Take 1 2. Maybe you've just come new to the channel or you've not seen it before. I did do a quick build when I was putting the Take 1 2 together. This all started by me building this router sled all on my own, getting it engineered and stuff. And then just as I finished it, I saw one of these. And to be honest, I love all my profile. I even love it more now that it's adjustable. But the Take 1 2 system was just a no-brainer. It's so good, all engineered properly, a lot quicker. But I still have the drawings for the old one available, and all the drawings for this new one with the what you need to order, a rough price estimate as well, all on Etsy if you want to check that out. On one side of a bench only, you are definitely going to need the extended pole, which just comes with the system, goes in there. I'm guessing if you can have another pole, if I go to 2 meters, I'm going to get another little section as well. That's pretty cool. I suppose I could hire myself, looking at this, could hire myself out as the mobile slab flattener, similar to the people with the sawmills. Take this around in my trailer, flatten the slabs. Okay, so this is it in its new home. It's where it's going to stay. It stays out of my feet in the workshop. I'm going to see whether I want it this high or lower. I'm going to eventually have some lights under here, LED or whatever, big nice light, and my dust collection. I may connect it, over there is my main connector, which means running a pipe, but I may just put some kind of, you know, small vac here, 50mm vac. You can see this can push right back to almost here. It's extended at the moment because I'm just about to do a slab which is 1.3, but most of my slabs, say this is a really big one, but most of my slabs in here are around about 950, 900, and for a 900 slab, almost level with this. So just sticking out just a few mil, maybe 10 mil in front, which is fine. It's really easy to lift as well. I've got these at 850 centres. I've got 5 of them. You can have as many as you like if you're worried about, there's going to be no deflection, but if you're worried about the smaller gaps, most of the time I'm using it, I use this rail here, which I lay on. I've shown you these before. I'm going to do some update videos on the Rui. Got these little Rui clips, quick release clips. So they go on like that, and that raises up your, you don't need any clamps because it's on this foam. That raises up the level, and that bridges any gaps that you're worried about for smaller slabs. But as I say, you can put as many of these on as you like. I just chose this for a bit of, just to save a little bit of money and the weight. And mainly I'm working in this area here, which is sort of 3 meters. This is going to be able to work on at least a 4.2 slab, which is as big as I like to work with anyway, but mostly smaller stuff. Okay, that's it for this video. I'm hoping this is the last router sled I need to build. It's so versatile, massively expandable and shrinkable. Still doesn't take up too much footprint in its smaller form, which is when I mainly use it. If you want to know any more details on this, what profile I'm using, spacing for bolts, how many bolts you need, etc, etc. It's all going to be on a cut list. The link is in the description. If you buy this cut list, you'll get access to all the other cut lists that I've done in the other videos. I'm also going to link the other videos of kind of how I got here, the sled that I built, then I bought the Take 1 2 system, then I built a different one of these, and I've put all the cut lists in. The one cut list you buy for this one will cover all of them. Any money that I make on those cut lists, it just goes into making more videos for you guys and giving you in-depth Obviously you understand that when I'm building this thing, I can just whiz through it. But if to keep stopping, moving the camera, talking to you, that's all it's doing. It's just helping fund these videos. So if you do want to chip in on the cut list, I'll be really grateful. I hope you're all staying safe. It is a really difficult time at the moment, especially for me at the moment. Well, it's not especially for me, for all of us. Depending what you're doing self-employed, it is a very difficult time. So I hope you're all safe, hope your families are safe. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching.